Hi guys, welcome to Subscribers Draw My Nails episode 17. If you're new here, this is the series where I take your guys' drawing of nail designs and try to recreate them in real life. It has been over 4 months since we last did a Draw My Nails, so this round of submissions are going to be split into two different videos. Two videos. So I will be doing 5 designs today and then 5 designs in a following video that will come out probably like a week after this one does. So if you don't see your design here today, maybe it's in the next one. With that being said, I'm doing some really unique and cool designs for this video. I don't really have too much to blab about today, so let's just get straight into the first design. So the first design I'm going to be doing today is from Jasmine Renard. And this is a very special design that I kind of just want to talk about while I do it. If you are a consistent watcher of my videos, then you'll know I've been kind of MIA on and off the past couple months. So I'm going to talk all about that and also what's going on with my life right now during this design. I will give you a little warning though that it is going to be quite sad and it's about my dogs. So if you want to skip that, I don't blame you. So I will leave the timestamp right here if you are not in the headspace to watch that right now. So with that being said, let's do this. Quite literally, the second I hit record, my neighbor started mowing their lawn, so I'm so sorry if you can hear it. Hopefully you can't. The maker of this design said an extra long square tip. I'm going to use these sculpted square tips from Apres in collaboration with Sean Legend. I really like these, except for the fact that their size jump from 6 to 7 is so big. Usually I'm a 7, but this is so small. So I'm going to use a 6 and just do a tiny bit of shaping. Sometimes if I'm feeling lazy, I will just use the Young Nails Protein Bond on the inside to kind of like etch it and prime it. I haven't had an issue with it popping off, but that's just me. I do already have a peel off base on my actual nail, so I'm going to put honestly a good amount of this gel because these are sculpted tips and my nails are pretty flat, so I need to fill in a lot of the space. Then a full cure, of course. Alright, so here's my base. Honestly, this design is going to be really hard for me to do. Not like technically, but like emotionally. I'll just tell you guys more about it while I do it. Aside from the extra long tip, they didn't specify anything. So for this, I'm pretty much just going to do hand-drawn art for all of it. Like I said when I showed you guys the design, and I know I had mentioned it a couple months ago when it happened, but my dog that I had as a child passed away a few months ago. And this is her collar, which is what this design is inspired by. I've been wanting to do some sort of something for her on my nails, but I just really haven't been able to, I don't know, do it. But I think doing one inspired by her collar is a really good idea. You can see in the design that the color is a little bit, I would say more purple, but she actually had a pink collar, and so I'm gonna do it to this color. And so let's mix that up, and I will also tell you guys a little bit more about what's going on right now. So she did have a pink collar even though her color was always purple. I just always got her purple things because one of my other dogs, Persephone, we always got her pink things. So when I got new collars for them, I decided that I was going to switch their colors since they were best friends. This is obviously very difficult as Zoe's passing is still very fresh. So speaking of Persephone, about a week or 2 ago, she slipped a disc in her back. So we took her to the emergency vet and we didn't know she had slipped a disc. At that point, we actually had thought she had either a stroke or a seizure because she just kind of like froze and seemed really out of it when she did it. But I think it's just because she was in a lot of pain when that happened. Anyway, the emergency vet said it was that, but we still felt like there was something more that was going on just because of what happened that night and just, you know, a little bit recently she had been a little bit off. So we took her to our normal vet and they did a bunch of tests and we found out that she has spleen cancer. And unfortunately with dogs, spleen cancer is very aggressive. And even with removing the spleen and any cancer that they can see, they typically only have another couple months to live. So We did opt for her to get the surgery, and she had her spleen removed a week ago now from when I'm filming this, because our vet said it would give her a much better quality of life while she was still here. But unfortunately, the cancer has already spread. So that's basically why I've kind of been MIA recently. Even though my dogs are old, this all still feels very sudden because for a long time they were pretty much all good health-wise. When Zoe passed, she was fine until she wasn't. She wasn't showing any signs that she was gonna pass, which, you know, for her, that's the best way that it can go. She basically only was sick for like, you know, half an hour before she passed, so she didn't suffer. But my husband and I definitely were not prepared. Not that I think anyone ever really is, but we had 4 dogs and we've been together 9 or 10 years, and we've had all of our dogs almost this whole time. And I know some people don't like when people say this or they don't agree, but my dogs are pretty much, you know, my children. We don't ever plan on having kids, so my dogs are, you know, my babies. So it's really just been a lot all at once. We're not sure how long we have left with Persephone. We're doing literally everything we can for her, but at the end of the day, sometimes there's just not anything you can do. So that's basically what's been going on. I do have a second Instagram that I treat as like a personal Instagram. Like I don't like make content for it. It's just like my life, my dogs, like hobbies that aren't nails and makeup and stuff like that I do post updates on about her, them, my life, if you are interested in any of that. With all that being said, I know that you guys are really understanding, but I do apologize for the inconsistent uploads, and if I'm not, you know, as I guess like upbeat or, you know, sort of like with it when I am filming. I have been wanting to talk about this, but it is difficult for me, and also I don't want to bum everyone out about it all the time. I know a lot of people come to my channel for a distraction or, you know, maybe just some positive entertainment or whatever it may be, and the last thing I want to do is make people sad. So I'm not really mentioning it very much, even though it's really all just affecting me like 24/7 right now. In my last video, what I really wanted to do was paint Zoe with those oil paints, but if it turns out bad or I can't do it or what have you, I'm gonna feel like I let her down or I'm doing her like a disservice, which I know is not true, but I still can't help but to feel that way. So I am finishing up, and their drawing does not necessarily have this, but her collar does. It has these little white polka dots, so I'm gonna do some of those, and I'm gonna just use a milky white so it's subtle. Just a couple small little touches. And finally, top coat. I'm gonna be using this Doi, I think that's how you say it, top gel from Nailbao. I used this for the first time the other day and I really liked it. It's actually pretty thin, but it doesn't separate or anything like that. So I really want to try the rest of her gels. Let me know if you guys want me to get a bunch of them. She does such amazing nail art that I could have only guessed that her products would be amazing as well, and I kind of want to try more of them. I also don't know about you guys, but I love when the bristles on the brushes are clear so you can see your design through it. And we are finished. To be honest, I wanted this nail to be perfect, so I probably spent like 2 hours on it. I know it seems ridiculous, but I just couldn't leave any little mistakes. But I'm really happy with it. So let's go on to the next designs, and I promise nothing else sad for the rest of the video. My second design is from Lauren Lizard. Love the name. As I've said before in these videos, a lot of times there are different themes that come about, and a theme that I was not expecting in this round of submissions was jellyfish. I really struggled picking which jellyfish design I wanted to do. As you can see, they were all so good, but the one I went with today is from Lauren Lizard. It is an aquarium nailed jellyfish, and I just thought that was so fun. I'll never stop trying to master the aquarium shaker liquid nails type thing, and I think that this one is going to be a little bit easier with it being just the jellyfish part having liquid in it. So jellyfish aquarium nail, here we come. For the base of the nail, I'm gonna use these tapered stiletto tips from eNail Couture. These ones are some of my absolute favorite and I need to order more. These tips are like really sharp stiletto tips, and even though my nails are pretty flat, they still fit very well. These are the best shaped stiletto full cover tips in my opinion. I love them. So I am just going to pop this on quickly so that we have a base to put all of this on. Perfect base for a jellyfish, if I do say so myself. I think that today I'm going to utilize a silicone mold for the aquarium nail part. I have this really cute one, which I can do more with at some point, but I saw that the snail on this is fairly deep and I feel like that's a good amount of room to be able to fill things. So I just am gonna just fill up this part, or try to anyway. I have this Ivy Flex mixing gel from Jin B. I got this from Sweetie Nail Supply and it is huge, which I am so glad about because I thought it was a bit expensive, but it said it was really good for mixing with like glitter or using in molds, and you guys know I do use molds quite a bit, so I took a chance and this is going to last me forever. It also said that it is clear, no bubbles, so I'm excited to try it out. I don't know how thick it's going to be, but we'll just have to see. I went to just go grab a palette and I found this. I forgot that I put these in here. These are little stoppers from the bottom of drainage holes on my planters, and whenever I take them out, I always think about how useful they could be in here, and I think that today could be the day because this could also be very useful for making the aquarium part. We'll try a couple different options, but I wanted to put this in here because I'm going to be like scooping it up. Ooh, it's pretty thin. Whoa. Okay. That is much thinner than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be like super thick. Maybe just because it's in like a paint squeeze tube or something like that. Let's try this mold first since it is round. I'm going to try to do this kind of quick because I don't really want it to settle too much since we want a bunch of room. All right, I feel like I covered it into the oven. This is most definitely not like perfectly even, so I'm going to try to just like swivel the gel in here perhaps to try to get all the sides. Oh wow, okay, it's very malleable. I think I need to do a second coat. All right, and here we are. So we do have a little hole, which honestly could be good to fill it with, but we do have one over here also. So we're gonna need to close up one of them. So I'm just gonna kind of like reinsert this a different way and close up the side. Oh, did I just poke through that? I literally did. Stuff is very soft. Maybe this is not the right type of mold. Maybe they mean like a thin one. That way it could be more comfortable on your nail or something like that. That is much, much thinner than I was anticipating. I also broke it, so not off to a good start. And then I'm going to just take a little bit of this Toughen top coat, so it's supposed to be like a hard top coat, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there to try to help the strength. Let's try again. All right, here we are. I think the Toughen top coat helped, and I think we're all good on all sides here. I'm not overly concerned about it being like perfectly round because it's a jellyfish, so it can have some lumps and stuff like that. Might be a tad bit small, but I am going to build around it also. But for like the filled aspect, it's probably gonna work. But I am just going to just make one on this as well, just, you know, for science. We can see if this works like significantly better. So let's just do that really quick. Okay, I think this one turned out so much better. See if I can get it off of this. Oh, much better. Wow. Okay, you know what? That is going to be perfect. That mixing gel does have some stickiness to it, so I am going to put a little bit of the Toughen top coat on there, and that also really helps the strength. For most molds you wouldn't need strength, but this one is obviously going to be filled, so it absolutely does. And I also don't want anything sticking to the sides, and we are ready to go. I will have a couple small challenges like the sides and stuff here. So I'm going to first start off with drilling a small hole right here to put glitter and our oil in after we put it on the nail, because I do not have a opening right now. And I think polygel is going to be our best bet for putting this around the sides. First, I'm just going to use a little bit of rhinestone glue to just initially attach it. It does kind of lift off on the sides, so I don't need any there. I just want to stick this down. And I'm going to do it so the hole is upwards, that way it's easy to fill later. Okay, we have quite a large gap. So this is all shaped now. I didn't see a need to like file it or anything like that just because, you know, jellyfish like malleable. I guess an organic shape would be a better description, but I still have the little hole that we need to put glitter in now. So I'm not quite sure what type of glitter. Obviously it needs to be pretty small. I'm kind of thinking maybe like some of this glitter. I also have like these little flakies almost that I really like. Since jellyfish are like transparent, I feel like just like some shimmer flakes would be really cool. And I do have a couple different colors and shades of that. Oh no. That was definitely the sound of the cap of the glitter falling on my floor. That's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Let's just focus on getting this glitter in there. So I want some small pieces and then some of the flakes. There is quite a bit of glitter in there, but it's a little cloudy. Hopefully we'll see it a bit better once we have the liquid in. Okay, so let's fill it. Oh, it's leaking! What? From where? How? Okay, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is? Okay, there it is. I don't know if that's too big of an air bubble or not big enough. I think I need a little bit of a smaller air bubble. There we go. Now, somehow I clean all of this up. I've wiped the opening with acetone many times now, so hopefully it will shut all right. This looks a little cloudy, but you know what? It works and it's completely sealed. Now let's do the tentacles. Is that what those are called? Legs? I'm gonna grab some solid gel. Ooh. And put on a glove. That way we can grab some of this and try to roll it. All right, so I'm just gonna cut little pieces of that and kind of just put them on here, and I'm gonna try to shape them down. Usually if you let it sit somewhere for a sec, it'll stick down so you can shape it. Good. There's quite a few, so I'll just make sure to layer. I am loving how these little tentacles are coming out. I was a little bit worried that, I don't know, this just wasn't going to look right, but I think it is going to. I'm gonna just color everything afterwards. I felt like that would be easiest since it's gonna be mostly transparent. We only need like a little wash of color over a lot of it. And I think I'm gonna just do one last one right here. Gotta be patient and sort of like let it stick down because it does take a couple seconds for it to want to stay where you put it. We all know that patience is my middle name. And I'm gonna just let all that cure. For all of the color on top and the rainbow design, I'm gonna use these jelly colors because I feel like we still wanna see it transparent a little bit. I feel like that just goes with the transparency of like jellyfish and stuff like that. So these will be perfect. And in terms of jelly colors, these are very pigmented. So I'm gonna put a little bit more of that mixing gel out to maybe thin out the colors a little bit. Oh, that is so thin. Okay, so in terms of the color, there is kind of like two different purples. So let's start on the tentacles. I'm gonna try to just color each one individually. I was contemplating on doing the water design I've been seeing everywhere on the background of this, but I felt like you wouldn't really be able to see it very much. I love the way that looks. And I'm gonna try to clean up any places that are pooling. Okay, and then I'm just going to very lightly color the top of the jellyfish, just so it's not entirely clear. I feel like that won't mesh as well with the tentacles, but I don't really want it to cover up too much because we want to see the glitter and stuff, the cloudy glitter. I feel like it makes the glitter look really good. And lastly, we just have some rainbow dots. I'm not exactly sure what the design is exactly supposed to be, but I'm gonna kind of just go with a little bit of a gradient. Kind of seems like we're supposed to do a couple dots of one color and go to the next. And last but not least, a top coat. I'm gonna kind of just go in with this everywhere just so nothing is sticky. I would hate for like a dog hair or something to get stuck under one of these. And then of course over here. Oh, I love this little jellyfish. It's so cute. All right, next up, I'm gonna be doing this design from Shady Nails. And this design actually has 3D flowers, which I haven't done in quite some time and I thought would be fun to tackle again. And overall, it's just like a really cute sort of like springtime design. I know we're getting into summer, but springtime colors are always my favorite. So I'm excited to do some 3D flowers. So they did clarify that the base is a darker blue to lighter blue and maybe sparkly. So I found this one. This one's pretty perfect. It is a like sparkly brighter blue to a like powder baby blue. And I've never tried not polish acrylic powder before. I've actually never tried not polish anything. I got this when I was in Fort Lauderdale for my meet and greet last year, and I just never tried it. So let's try it out. Oh, it has chunky glitter. I thought it was just fine glitter. That's totally fine. Honestly, most of the base will probably end up being covered by the flowers. And today I'm gonna use a form. Forms are just so much easier to use with a peel-off base opposed to putting a tip on. All right, so let's begin. Like I said, I have a peel-off base on right now, so I'm just going to go straight in with the glitter. And this nail looks pretty long to me, so we're gonna probably go down to here. Okay, don't mind this. I was having a little bit of trouble keeping my hand in frame, so hopefully this will help. Then before I put any clear over, I'm honestly not even sure how pigmented this is. This really sparkly white, and I'm just gonna go over that light blue just so that that is also sparkly, because I feel like it would seem a little weird if the top was sparkly and the bottom wasn't. But super thin layers so that it's not just then a white layer, which looks like it's gonna be perfect. And then now I'm just going to go over with a little bit of white just to cap all of that glitter. We don't want to file into it. You know, this little armrest is really useful. I'm gonna have to use it more with acrylic because not only can you guys see, but it also is helping me work with gravity opposed to when I'm trying to show you guys like that. So much easier. Okay, let's take this off. And we'll file this really quick. Okay, looking good. Now I'm going to start with the 3D flowers. They said that the flowers in the middle with the details are 3D as well as the leaves, and then everything else is painted. So I'm going to start with the 3D flowers because I want to color match everything, and I don't think I can color match acrylic as well as I can with gel. So I have quite a few shades here to try to match all these colors. A couple from Anna Acrylics. I'm going to use this really light purple from Makart. I know that this is going to be a little bit lighter than what they have, but I just really like the color. And then I may need to end up diluting this one to make it a little bit not as neon. We'll see. Okay, so it's been quite some time since I've done any 3D flowers, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. Let's start with a pink one. Okay, I had hoped I was going to be able to just kind of like go quick. That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna need to really take my time with pretty much every single petal. One down, probably like 30 to go. So the flowers are coming out a little bit bigger than I would have liked, but at this size they're already hard to do. I couldn't imagine trying to do them like itty bitty teeny tiny, but I am happy with them. They are some of the better 3D acrylic flowers I've ever done, and hopefully when I add some details in them they'll look a little bit better because I feel like the centers don't look quite right. Perhaps I should have done like a little center bead before that. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes adding it afterwards. But I feel like these flowers kind of look like the ones in the sky in SpongeBob, which I like. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to mix all of these colors together and make them all match. So the pink, yellow, and blue went just fine, but I just keep messing up this green for whatever reason. I didn't picture this one being the one I was gonna have issues with, but it's fine. I feel like it's close enough at this point. So I'm kind of just drawing a couple little flowers. I know that in the drawing there is a lot more, but I feel like it was gonna get too cluttered and unreadable for me if I were to put a bunch of flowers underneath. Hopefully this is good enough to the person that drew this. Hopefully I'm not disappointing. Although I'm really happy that I chose this design because I feel like I'm improving a lot on my flowers. Flowers are just for some reason something that I'm just like not good at planning out, just like the ratio of the petals I always struggle with, but I feel like this gave me a lot of really good practice. As far as a top coat goes, I'm not sure what to do. I think that I may just go and try to top coat the blue mainly and these ones so that the other flowers sort of stay matte-ish. I did fill in the divots a little bit with that milky white that I put in the centers of everything else, just because I felt like I needed a little something. So I don't know, I'm just going to get my top coats out and kind of just go with it and see what ends up looking best. Our fourth design is going to be from Gemma Rose 28 and it is a space nail. I love this design because the planets are actually supposed to be 3D and like bubble up, which I feel like is a very manageable 3D design, and it's going to be very glittery, and I get to use some cat's eye gels, which you guys know I've been obsessed with lately. Any excuse to use those cat's eye or magnetic gels, I'm gonna take it. So I've skipped putting on the nail because y'all have already seen it, so let's just get straight to it. So I'm going to put a black base down. There is obviously glitter on the background, but we will get to that in a moment. I just want a nice solid base down to start with. Okay, there's that. Ugh, I love just how plain black nails look still. Like, I don't know, even though I love, you know, all of my bling and everything, just plain black nails will always be in my top like 3 favorite nail looks. I feel like it's just, I don't know, so smooth, so pretty. But I'm gonna go in with this reflective glitter gel. I put the black base down first before I put this one because this one is not very opaque and this one would take quite a few coats to get it fully covered. This way we can just do one. I feel like I had to add in some reflective glitter for this because it's space. I feel like it was a requirement. They didn't specify reflective glitter, but I'm just gonna go with that's what they want. Okay, and then lastly, I feel like I also have to do a cat's eye with this. And this one's not going to add like that much to this. Obviously there's the glitters all over this, but this is a black cat's eye, and I feel like it would look really cool if all the I guess I'm just gonna call the glitter pieces stars, like started to group together around that purple. So let's see how it looks over the entire nail, and we'll move those little pieces around. All right, let's see if I can get this cat's eye to work. Sometimes at nights I just like sit in my living room while my husband and I like hang out and chill for the night, and I just like do random nails, and I realized that all the lights in here really hinder me being able to see what's going on, and also I am dumb, and sometimes I use nail stands while I'm doing them, and the nail stands have magnets on them, and that's what I was doing at first, and that has been probably messing me up a lot over the, I don't know, years that I never even realized, but I haven't been able to see because of the lights. So today's another thing. I don't know how well I'll be able to see. But you know what? I might actually be able to kind of see today because it's only one color. Oh, see, perfect. That's gonna be so pretty. Doesn't that look so pretty? It's gonna be perfect. Kind of looks like a neon light the way they drew it, but hopefully this way looks similar. I'm gonna go over the sparkles here with purple, and I'm using jelly colors so that we can still see the nice pretty sparkles. Perfect. I'm gonna take some white now and just kind of go over that line. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna go over that line with the purple again. Okay, good. I was worried that just the white was gonna be too stark, but I think it's fine. So next I'm gonna draw out the planets, and I'm gonna honestly just see if I can try and use the cap of one of my brushes, just kind of like outline where I want to put them, make perfect circles, that way I don't have to try to redraw it over and over and over. Okay, we have quite a big planet on the side right here, so I'm wondering if I can just, you know what, I'll take it. Okay, we'll do the one at the bottom. Honestly, getting that little bit of like an outline is good enough for me. I can just like clean it up. And then we have 3 smaller planets. And they did specify that all of the colors are neon, so I have some neons here. And although the planets are 3D, we're gonna do that afterwards. I'm gonna put the color base on and then we will do it. The blob that I'm gonna put on top is not going to be colored. It's just going to be filled with glitter, and underneath is going to have the color. So we will fill in all the planets to do the pink, yellow, orange, blue, and purple. I did lay the gel on quite thick because we're bubbling them up anyway, and that way I don't have to do multiple coats. Okay, I'm bringing my mixing gel back out, and I'm just gonna mix up a little bit of this gel with glitter. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of a different glitter for each one. I am doing like a color specific one, so the yellow will have yellow glitter, but also I might mix it up with like one of it being like a reflective glitter or a chunky glitter, or I might do like flakes or something like that. Just, you know, give it a little bit of variety. Oh, this was so full. Put a good amount. That's probably good. Ooh, it's all chunky. And then I'm just gonna kind of goop all of this on. I feel like you cannot see the glitter at all. Like, does it just match that well, or did I not put enough glitter? Something I love about these like silicone ones, you can just like pop it out afterwards to clean it. For the orange, I'm in between two. This one is reflective and this one is chunky. I think I'm gonna go with the chunky because I think I don't have any other chunky ones lined up. Here we are. Oh gosh, these ones are filled so much. For the purple, this one is reflective. This purple one is probably the one that matches the least, but I feel like you won't even be able to tell, really. And finally the blue. You know, honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about the Flex mixing gel. It is really thin. It's like some of the thinnest gel I've ever used. It's almost like if you put a top coat in a squeeze tube. So like, yeah, it is good for mixing with like glitter and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's like almost too thin. Actually, you know what? No, it is too thin. I'll have to look up and see how the company or whoever created it uses it, because I really just saw it and I thought, ooh, mixing gel, you know, like I do a lot of mixing. I could use that and see if like there's a certain way that I'm just like not getting, because I feel like it's a bit difficult and it definitely wouldn't be my go-to. Okay, I definitely went a little ridiculous on how much I bubbled these up, but I kind of like it. They're fun. I think I'm gonna mess with this like neon line really quick because I feel like it just doesn't look quite right. And lastly, the top coat. I feel like that line is so much better now. I feel like I needed to add like some sparkle back on top. I feel like it just didn't mesh very well with everything, and it was like a little too blunt, the line was. I'll look at the way that the shimmers in this one reflect, kind of make it look green, which kind of makes it look like earth. Ooh, it's looking so pretty with the top coat on. I love it. I'm so glad I fixed this little line. It looks so much better now that I added some of that glitter on top. We need to get to the next nail. My workspace is such a disaster right now. Let's clean up this glitter really quick. Okay, now we can move on. The fifth and final design is by IX Katie, and this was by far the longest nail that was submitted, and it caught my eye because it's just so unique with just a long charm on the end. I figured it'd be fun to make the charm itself as well as just have a little, you know, like sword on my finger. I feel like it's just a very unique design and I'm really excited to try it out. So I don't pull out these tips very often, but these are the 10XL stiletto tips from Nail Couture, and these are ridiculous in the best way, and we get to use these for this design. There we go. And then I'm actually just gonna use some of this solid glue for this one. So before we actually paint the nail, let's make the little charm on the end. I figure I could use a already done charm, but I figure let's just make it because it is pretty detailed. Okay, I'm gonna just go in with a poly gel. I feel like this color looks closest to what I have right now. A little bit of a gamble, but we'll see. Okay, you know what? That's gonna be perfect. Yes, and it's a little bit transparent. That's exactly what I wanted. It's kind of hard to tell. I looked on the website and Makartt's not the best about showing like the true color and like transparency. So it was hard to tell if this one was gonna be jelly or not, but it is. Okay, so that'll be one wing. Ooh, air bubble. Another wing, then the small parts of the wing. Amazing. Perfect butterfly. All ready to go. All right, I'm gonna try to just shape these. Might take a little bit. Okay, ignore the hair, but I think that's close to as good as I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna cure that and we can add on. Okay, perfect. I cut it out because I wanted to just get all of those thin layers around it off easily. It'll just peel off of this little paper though. I perhaps may have gone a little bit overboard with the filing, but I am going to put rhinestones on this, and so I figure I can always just put a layer on the outside of these and do that, and that way it bulks it up a little bit and I can make it a little bit of a better shape, because right now it just kind of looks like a X or something. All right, so like I was saying, I think what I'm gonna do is put just a layer of my rhinestone glue on the outside like that. Okay, it's gonna be fine, you guys watch. I have all these rhinestones from when I was doing the other set I was wearing on this hand. And so using the rhinestones can change the shape of this a little bit. Oh, see, that's better. I feel like that shape is much better. And then there looks like there's like a little bit of like swirly texture. So I'm just gonna go in and add that with a jelly pink. And I'm probably just gonna add a little bit of other little details, either in like silver or pink. I'm not quite sure. It might look good if I go from the back here and put the glitter on the underside of where the rhinestones are. So it's like looks silver underneath. I don't know, but I really like how it looks with the rhinestones. That's such a fun touch. Okay, the butterfly charm is done and it's actually really pretty, I think. Like when you get up close and see all the little details, because I did some of the color on the back, and I like the way the rhinestones are like surrounding it. So now we have to do the actual base of the nail, which isn't too complicated. I'm going to first paint the base color with a disco color from Macarte. I felt like this one matched perfectly, and I'll probably need a couple coats of that on the base. And then we have a V French tip that I'm gonna honestly just try to freehand with a full brush. All right, perfect. I'll just fill in the rest. Probably gonna have to do 2 coats since that disco gel is textured, since it has so much glitter in it. I'm excited to bring out one of my faves again. It's been a while since I've used any blooming gel. I'm gonna just put this on the white and we'll make those little, I don't know exactly what this design would be called. I think it was like tortoiseshell for a while, but I don't know if that applies to just like those brown tones or if that applies to like this type of blooming gel stripe design in general. And I like how that spread out, so I'm gonna cure it. And there we have it. I'm gonna put a top coat on this. And lastly, let's add the butterfly. Oh my gosh, that is so heavy. Like, while I feel like this is, you know, pretty big, I think it feels so heavy because it's so far away from my nail also. Like, it just feels like, also feels like I could like smack someone like a fly swatter or something, like, oh my gosh, such a fun set today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the designs I did today. Like I said, my next video is also going to be a draw my nails, so make sure not to miss that, especially if you submitted one, because yours might be in there. And also the honorable mentions will be in that video as well. As far as submitting a design for a future video, make sure to watch out on my community tab or Instagram story, because that's where I post the link to the template and the submission page for these. I was thinking about, for the next round, changing it up a little bit and have you guys design my birthday nails. And this would be a little different because it would just be one design and it would be a 10-finger design. So let me know if you guys like that idea, because I think it would be super fun for one of you to design my birthday nails. I don't know. Let me know, alright? If you like this series, please make sure to give this video a like. It helps out a lot, and I will see you guys in next week's Draw My Nails. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!